Hello and welcome to the Purdue SAE Racing Callout. My name is Matthew Keeble and I am the president of SAE General this year. First, I would like to address our COVID-19 pandemic. Each of the team's leaders of Purdue Electric Racing, Purdue Formula SAE, and Purdue Baja Racing have been working diligently all summer to understand the Protect Purdue guidelines and change the way that the teams work in order to incorporate a more virtual format for everyone to enjoy. Each season normally looks like meetings twice to 3 times a week in a very personal, close setting with each other, working in the shop, working in the lab, designing. But this year, due to the pandemic, we will have to switch to more virtual format. Even though we have made these changes, we still plan to build and test and compete in the car at the end of the season. So in the fall, we'll be mainly designing, and then in the spring, it'll be more manufacturing, but we still plan to keep as much normal of a schedule as possible. For me, my experience on a Purdue SAE racing team has helped me land my first internship. It has also landed me some of my best friends and some of the best mentorship and guidance that I could have ever asked for here at Purdue. The older members have taught me the ins and outs of Purdue, both socially and academically, and some of the current team members are some of my best friends that I have here at Purdue. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to our SAE advisor, Todd Nelson.
My name is Todd Nelson. As Matt said, I'm the faculty advisor for the 3 SAE teams. I just wanted to say a few quick things. First thing is, you've made a great choice by coming and attending this call out. To reiterate something Matt said, these teams provide you with the best opportunity on campus to develop the professional skills that companies are looking for. How do I know that? Because as a student, I was heavily involved with Formula SAE, and when I went to do my interviews, all I talked about was my SAE experience. The result was great job offers from my top 3 companies, which is good in itself. That was in the wake of the recession of September 11th, 2001, when a lot of my classmates had 0 job offers. So these experiences give you those skills they're looking for. Second reason, I spent 15 years in industry, and these are the skills we were looking for all the time in our new hires as well as within the company. And then thirdly, in my current role as Assistant Director for ME Senior Design and the Faculty Advisor for SAE, I'm constantly talking to companies about what they're looking for. And the answers are always the same. They're looking for much more than technical skills. They come and recruit at Purdue because they know they're going to get technical skills. But what sets SAE students apart is that they know how to apply those technical skills to an open-ended, complicated problem. They know how to manage a team, they know how to manage a schedule and a budget, and they've developed great design skills because they've built and tested their designs. They've gone far beyond what you learn in the classroom. And they develop amazing leadership skills through the organization of the teams. So for all those reasons, SAE provides you these skills, and this is what companies are looking for. So you've made a great choice. The other thing I want to encourage you to do is to think about if you want to apply, if one of these teams is where you want to commit yourself and apply yourself. Why do I say that? Because if you don't, you're not going to achieve those professional skills I just talked about. You have to spend the time, the commitment, the effort to grow and develop yourself in order to gain those skills. So these teams do a great job of teaching new members what they need to know to succeed. So you don't have to come in with all kinds of knowledge about cars or how to design things. In fact, you don't need any of that. The teams will help teach you. All you got to come with is the effort. And if you do, you'll develop those skills, and not only will you get your jobs that you want, you'll take those skills with you and leverage them throughout your career and continue to develop yourself. You'll achieve all the career goals that you could ever imagine. So as you listen to these presentations from the 3 teams, think about which team you think you might best fit in, and think about if it's a team that you want to commit yourself to and be a part of full-heartedly. And if you don't, that's okay too. Take advantage of Purdue's many options. I just hope that you find one that works best for you. If it's one of these teams, I look forward to working with you in the near future. But with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Matt.
Our first team will be Purdue Baja Racing, which is the only team that creates an off-road style vehicle. So with that, we'll let Morgan take over.
Hey guys, I'm Morgan Burgett. I'm the president of Purdue Baja Racing, and this is Anthony Anton, our chief engineer. Baja is a student-led club that designs, tests, builds, and competes with an off-road vehicle every year. Baja is also the only one of the 3 SAE teams that races off-road. Our competition consists of static events and dynamic events. Static events include things such as presenting our designs to judges, as well as a sales presentation. And we also do dynamic events, including an acceleration competition to see which car is the fastest. There's a maneuverability course designed to test our driver's ability and our car's agility. A suspension and traction event that is designed to try to brake your car, and it's testing how durable your different components of your car are. There's also a hill climb event where you try to reach the top of the hill as fast as you can. A sled pull event that mimics a tractor pull using a Baja car. And then it all ends in a 4-hour endurance race. The winner of the race is whichever team completes the most laps around the course. We split our team up by focusing on the main aspects of the competition. So we have 4 different subsystems on our team: a chassis subsystem, driver interface, drivetrain, and suspension. These subsystems are run by design leads who manage the overall vision of their subsystem and help integrate into the full car.
Our chassis team works on designing the frame and our body panels. Their main focuses are ensuring driver safety, improving aerodynamics, and cutting weight. Our suspension team is where you can really make a Baja car shine. They're in charge of all the connection points between the wheels and the chassis. They're in charge of making the knuckles, the A-arms, the trailing arm, the shock, buying the shocks, and isolating the vehicle from any disturbances from the road. There's a lot of vehicle dynamic theory, complex manufacturing and design, as well as a lot of fun testing that goes into this subsystem. Our driver interface subsystem deals with everything the driver comes in contact with. This includes the steering wheel, the custom-made steering rack, our brake and gas pedal. They are in charge of ensuring that there's enough space and that the driver is very safe during the 4-hour endurance race.
This year, our drivetrain team is responsible for undertaking a huge challenge, required by SAE rules to make our car a 4-wheel drive car. This means we have to take power from our 10 horsepower Briggs & Stratton engine from the rear wheels and include the front wheels. We use a continuously variable transmission to take our power from the engine to our reduction box and then now all the way to the front wheels. This change is a big deal because Purdue Baja hasn't made a 4-wheel drive car since 2004. So we need all the help we can get to incorporate all these different new components such as our bevel box, differential, and drive shaft into the drivetrain system.
A large part of the fall semester is testing. We go out to the airport track that we have and do a lot of testing using our new telemetry system that we've made this year. There's a lot of great opportunities to improve this system, as well as great opportunities to drive the car and perform data analysis on the data that we obtain.
This year we're going to be meeting virtually on our Discord server. We meet every Tuesday and Thursday at 6:30 p.m. We have SolidWorks lessons that are tailor-made to beginners, and they will teach you everything you need to know to be a part of our design team for the Baja car. In late fall and early spring, we also work on manufacturing all the components. Around 90% of the components on the vehicle are made by us after being designed by us in the fall. I joined Baja because the Baja team sure knows how to have a good time. We're the only off-road team. And it's just a really great camaraderie. If you like having a great hands-on experience and getting your hands dirty, putting something together and repairing things, Baja's the team for you.
Thanks, Morgan. Up next is our loudest team with Formula SAE and our president, Adam Dewey.
I'm Adam Dewey. I'm the president of the Formula SAE team, and this is Ben Reynolds, our chief engineer. We build an open-wheeled race car each year that has an internal combustion engine and a full aerodynamics package, as you can see. And we take this to SAE Michigan each year in May and compete in a variety of events. The first group of events are our static events, which are essentially checking that the vehicle passes rules, the cost event, business event, and the design event. And in each of these events, there are judges that are industry experts that come from different companies to perform these static events on our car. The next group of activities are the dynamic events, and these are the acceleration event, the skid pad event, autocross, and endurance event. Through all of these events, it tests the vehicle's ability to accelerate, corner, the reliability of the vehicle, and the efficiency of the vehicle. Additionally, the experience of the driver. Building this vehicle, designing the vehicle, and taking it to competition, our vision is that all of our members can get real engineering experience that can develop them to be great engineers and able to work in a team environment, as these are very important skills to have in the real world.
I want to touch on what our team organization is. We have 5 technical teams and then our business team. So these 5 technical teams are suspension, which is responsible for making a car that can be driven quickly and is comfortable for the driver. Chassis, who's responsible for integrating all the sub-teams by connecting them with the chassis, and also responsible for ergonomics and safety. And then there's powertrain, which is responsible for taking a motorcycle engine and making it work in our car. So that means they're making custom fuel, oil, intake, exhaust, and cooling systems. Next is the electronics team, which is responsible for making the hardware and the software that runs the car. So the wiring harness, as well as all the code that runs the car and the data, taking the data and providing it to the other teams for analysis. And then finally, there's our aero team, which is responsible for doing the CFD, computational fluid dynamic analysis, as well as making all the body work via carbon fiber layups. And finally, there's our business team, arguably the most important, because they're the ones who manage our sponsors and keep track of our budget. And so we operate on about $50,000 a year, and so it's really important for them to make sure we're using it for the right priorities. So with this, what kind of things could you expect to learn on the team? Well, we use a lot of great industry softwares. The software that our aero team uses and that we do for structures analysis are used across the aerospace and automotive industries. But more importantly than kind of learning some of those unique skills is getting the hands-on side. And even though we won't have as much of that this year, and so it's really important then that you can get an idea of how to manufacture something so that you can make sure you're kind of not making life hard down the road. And also just getting some of that engineering intuition of, is this design going to work out or not? With these skills, we definitely see lots of opportunities for career advancement. All of these teams have a lot of sponsors, and the reason that they sponsor is because they want to recruit the members. And a good example of this, though, is the companies at the SAE competition will be, really across the aerospace, automotive, and motorsports industries. An example is, we'll see everyone from NASA's Jet Propulsion Lab and SpaceX to GM, Ford, and Honda to Bosch and Roush.
For me, on my experience with the team, I've been on the team, my entire team here at Purdue. I'm a senior now. And for all the years I've been on the team, I've been helping on the drivetrain system. So this has really gotten me engaged in learning, better CAD practices, how to use our ANSYS software that we use for finite element analysis on many of our structural components, and kind of learning all these technical tools really makes a good look towards recruiters to see that, hey, this person really knows kind of some of the engineering skills that could be applied to that specific company.
Finally, how can you kind of join and choose to go forward with our team? Well, we'll have a call out at 7 p.m. on Thursday, where we'll introduce each of our sub-team leads, and where we'll also get you information and get everyone started on our CAD training, learning how we design the car in a 3D design space. And so, like I said, that'll be 7 p.m. on Thursday, and you can check our Facebook, Instagram, and website to join the GroupMe, where we'll be talking about that, and we'll be posting reminders in all those places as well.
Thanks, Formula. Finally, we have our Purdue Electric Racing team, which is our newest team here at Purdue.
My name is Michael Neese, and I'm the president of Purdue Electric Racing. We're a team of Purdue students that competes in the Formula SAE electric competition every summer. That competition consists of us designing, building, and racing an open-wheel race car such as this one. So what makes us different from kind of like the IC engine, like Purdue Formula Racing, is that we're fully electric. So we have a little bit different set of rules from them. So we have a lot of electrical safety that we have to take into account. For example, we have different shutdown circuits, so if something goes wrong, we'll just turn off the car and make sure that the driver is extremely safe in all conditions. Another thing that sets us apart is that the torque output is a lot higher and happens a lot faster than for an internal combustion engine car. So it's not just like the electronics aspect of the car that's different, but a lot of the mechanical design can vary quite a bit because you have to deal with that instantaneous torque and you have to deal with like rating each of these parts for that much power every time. We consist of 7 sub-teams. The aerodynamics team, which creates the bodywork and nose cone as seen here, as well as wings and an undertray that are currently in development by the team. We have the battery team, which makes the battery that propels the vehicle, which goes traditionally stored in the rear of the vehicle. Next we have the business team, who acquire all of these sponsors that are shown on the bodywork here. They're the reason that we're actually able to function as a team. The chassis team makes the space frame chassis that you see here, kind of like the bones of the car. And they also deal with the ergonomics of the seating as well as the steering rack and the pedals. The next team is the drivetrain team. They develop the part of the car basically between the battery and the wheels, so they're what really drives the vehicle. Next is our electronics sub-team. The electronics sub-team handles all the electronics on the car, from battery management to just vehicle level controls to propulsion. And finally we have the vehicle dynamics team, who handle the suspension and the tires of the vehicle. The reason I joined Purdue Electric Racing was because I wanted experience in an industry that I really care about. A lot of our alumni end up working in the automotive industry, designing batteries, working on electronics, working on suspension, programming, transmission controllers. We have had basically all of those and more. It's a great opportunity for people, and it's something that I think really helps me as a Purdue student as well, not just for my career. So we work in the amazing Bechtel Innovation Design Center. We machine a lot of our parts here. We assemble in the basement. It's a great facility that has allowed us to excel in our not only our design, but in our manufacturing as well. So the next steps you can take to join us will be to go to our website and to click the link in the Join Today tab. It'll send you to a Google form where you can put your name and email, which we will send you to the next steps to get you invited into our Slack so you can actually start working with the team on whatever sub-team you decide. Kind of begin your training and begin your career with PUR.
Thanks for joining us. Please refer to any one of the team's websites or any of the social media platforms. Feel free to reach out to any of the leadership on Electric Racing, Formula, or Baja, or myself, and we'll be glad to answer one of your questions. Hope to see you at our next meeting.